Hello, it is Sunday, January 22nd, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday puzzle today, so we have a big, jumbo-sized grid with a theme. So I hope you're ready for a long, leisurely solve. And today's long, leisurely solve has been brought to us by Josh Lucas, Bradley Pirtle, Alex, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support in sustaining this channel, this series, and bringing us this particular video. I do very much appreciate that, so thank you to the 5 of them. And if you'd like to join their ranks as a benefactor and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve or in the link in the description field underneath the video, of course. And at that same link, you can get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, such as a new acrostic puzzle, which I think I scheduled to be posted today, so look forward to that if you are a patron. I've been really enjoying catching up on those acrostic puzzles. I hope you have as well, if you're a patron, and thank you if you are. And do subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you've not done so. Like the videos, tell a friend. Recommend this if you think you know someone who might enjoy it on social media or elsewhere. And join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link in the description field underneath the video to that as well. I'll certainly be checking the Daily Solve Discord chat server after this to see if people solve this puzzle with ease, which is, of course, the title of the puzzle. Sunday puzzles uniquely are given titles, and today's, I assume this is a punny thing, and there's going to be something around the letter E in this puzzle. So there will be E's, I don't know, strewn around the grid, or maybe missing from words or something, and we have to reinsert them. I don't know. But let's find out. This is a crossword constructed by Garrett Chalfin. This is his second puzzle for the New York Times Crossword, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving, shall we? Warming periods. Warming periods. I'm not sure. Trio with the 1995 #1 hit Waterfalls. That would be TLC. And does that help at all? Warming periods. I feel as though this should be obvious. I should be able to get this, but I just can't see it. My Blank, You're Never Gonna Get It, 1992 hit by En Vogue. I mean, I can think of the song. It's, Never Gonna Get It is repeated. Probably Lovin'. It's probably My Lovin', I would bet. Jolly Laugh. Ho ho. Santa Claus is often described as being jolly and says ho ho ho. Passionate. Avid. If you're a passionate reader, an avid reader. So, thaws. Right, okay. There we go. There was the incredibly straightforward word I was inexplicably unable to recall. So there we have it. Fragrant medicinal plant, also called colic root. I don't know, winter something maybe? I'm not sure. Most snarky, the snidest, the most snide person. You're snide, you're snarky, you're sort of sarcastic. Kitchen at a barbecue restaurant. Chili something? This could be wild. Oh, no, that's 3 Ds. That's a little bit strange. Oh, maybe this isn't snidest, because a misfit could be an oddball. So most snarky is the most makes me think EST. Maybe this isn't oddball. Oh, an odd duck. An odd duck. Okay, so perhaps, okay, look at that. So 3 Ds consecutively. I wouldn't have expected it, but this is snidest. There we go. So this could be wild something. Kitchen at a barbecue restaurant, question mark. And it looks like this is, this could be a theme answer with the question mark, and it's a long-ish entry. There aren't actually incredibly long entries in this puzzle, so this might be one of them, at least relative to the full scale of the Sunday grid anyway. Let's keep looking around. Finish second. To place, maybe? You didn't win, but you placed. Something to hang your hat on, a hat rack. And to elect is to opt, maybe, to make a choice. Activates as yeast. Proofs. You go through the proofings. That's funny, actually. That came to mind when I saw warming periods. I was thinking of proofing a loaf of bread. Or dough, rather. Plains tribe could be the Oto, maybe. And not a Big Mac, question mark, so not a laptop. So, obviously not referring to a McDonald's Big Mac hamburger, and we can tell that's the case because there isn't a B, or sorry, the B is not capitalized. But also, there's a question mark indicating a bit of punnery or wordplay. So in this case, a Macintosh computer. Not to go. For here, right, I see. You're not ordering takeaway. You're having it in the restaurant. If you're bugging people, perhaps. Oh, people who are bugging are spies? No. Bugging people. Spy. Oh, right. Okay. It is the activity. Spying. So if you are bugging people, you might be spying. And that's what perhaps means, because spying and bugging people aren't literally the same activity. One is not a synonym of the other. But bugging people, perhaps, you might be doing that while spying. Okay. So, chili factory. Okay, so what does that mean? Oh, chill factor. I see. So we've taken chill factor with ease. We've added ease to it. So chilly factory. So it's not, and this is appropriate because it's not the letter E that we're adding. It's the sound phonetically, ease. We're adding the two of the sounds, E, plural of E. And so we're spelling it phonetically here. Okay, so there we go. We've figured out what's going on with the theme. So my name is Prince, and I am funky, Prince lyric. This is, so here we have Prince and TLC and En Vogue. So there's sort of a kind of a 90s, Prince obviously was far beyond just the 90s, but I just mean if I had to sort of put these three, if I had to find a commonality in these three groups, they certainly all had notoriety in the 90s. Okay. Well, artists, I should say, because Prince himself was obviously an individual person. It's in your blood. A gene. People often refer to blood to mean sort of genetics in a general sense. Fragrant medicinal plant, right. Wild, I still don't know. Quick moving is brisk, goes quickly. Okay, sales promotion acronym, buy one, get one. That's a plausible sales promotion acronym. You see that occasionally. Curious in the extreme. Not sure. Hoot. Oh, that was a hoot. That was a riot. You could say it was extremely funny or amusing. Highly visible belly button. An outie. Hoity-toity? I don't know, that doesn't really fit. Pointy. Something outie? Oh, it is pointy outie, I guess. That's a strange phrase we're creating. I suppose it's creating the impression of a sort of an outie belly button that points out particularly. And so we're taking the phrase point out and we're adding ease to the end of each word to create a pointy outie, a highly visible belly button. Well, that is a strange one. So wild ginger, I suppose, colic root. Is that what that is? Curious in the extreme, agog. You could be completely flabbergasted. I suppose you're curious in the extreme. That's a fair way to phrase that. That's interesting. The office role, there was a character named Pam in the U.S. office. And the first one was built in 1925 in San Luis Obispo, California. A motel, I suppose. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that fact. Okay, stall of 60 Minutes. Leslie Stahl. I recently saw the film Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and Leslie Stahl was a key character in that film, surprisingly. Take a load off. To take a load off is to rest. Like chicken cordon bleu originally, or bleu, I suppose, in French. Originally. I'm not sure, saucy or something. I don't know what this is getting at really. Gives a grand speech, is orates, delivers some oration. And a streamlet could be a rill, maybe? Small stream. Slinky, a slinky is a coil, right? A slinky e.g. So a slinky, for example. A slinky is an example of a coiled metal or plastic, I suppose. Songs to be played at a concert, a set list. A band could have a set list to remember what they're going to play. Play parts are scenes, parts of a dramatic production, and corporate shakeups are reorgs, and corporate or corporation being abbreviated here to corp indicates that the answer will also be a contraction or abbreviation, so reorganizations goes to reorgs. Okay, one's downfall could be one's ruin, and what to add to Iraq to make it adjectival. So Iraqani. Oh, is that true? Oh, sorry. N-I. Iraqi, sorry. That was extremely slow just there. You add N-I. Okay. Yes. Sorry. It's not that this whole thing is a suffix, obviously. All right. Sauces made with basil and pine nuts. Pestos. Indeed. Or lots of other things. But those are pretty classic pesto ingredients. Result of a 1960s Haight-Ashbury shopping spree. I used to live in the Haight-Ashbury, just literally just around the corner from Haight Street, about 30 seconds from Haight Street, in San Francisco. Result of a 1960s Haight-Ashbury shopping spree. Hippie something. Haight-Ashbury very associated with 1960s hippie culture. So a hip joint, a hippie joint? No, that's not the result of a shopping spree. I'm not sure. Displays of shock. Gasps and chatter gab. Put on no pretensions. To be real, I suppose. Start to play. Act 1. Act 1 of a play. So we had scenes, and scenes comprise an act. Potentially adoptable pup. Stray cat? No, stray dog, sorry. Pup is a dog. Right. Okay. Proficient. If you're proficient, you're able. I don't know, with an instrument or something. So what is this? Result of a 1960s Haight-Ashbury shopping spree. Hip. What would hip... I'm trying to think of what the original phrase might be. I'm still not seeing it. One's coming home at homecoming. Alumni of a particular school, so former students, former attendees. Sin City is Sodom, so the biblical Sin City, not Las Vegas. And actually, I suppose if we're referring to Las Vegas, the C would probably be capitalized because we'd be using it as a sort of proper noun, an informal, but still kind of established name for the city. Okay, so this is in a more general sense, a sort of, biblical city of sin. Great Britain geographically is an isle. So we had the Haight-Ashbury, where I used to live, in Great Britain, where I live now. And Great Britain is, of course, an island that includes England, Scotland, and Wales, but not the entirety of the United Kingdom, which also includes Northern Ireland. So I'm not a glutton. I am an explorer of... I'm an explorer of what? I'm not a glutton. I'm a food, I guess. Irma Bombeck. I'm not a glutton. I'm an explorer of food. There we go. Good pithy saying. Avant-garde. If something's avant-garde, it could be said to be edgy. Avant-garde art, for instance. Commits piracy, loots another ship or something. Fine by me. If you want, I suppose. And so hippie booty. So what is a hip boot then? Hip boot. Is it a boot that goes all the way to your hips? Yeah, yep, sorry, it must just be something that I'm not completely familiar with. But hippie booty would be the result of the 1960s Haight-Ashbury shopping spree. So the hippie and their proceeds, their booty. All right. Host, a slew, a large number, a whole, scads of something. Shifty could be sly, maybe. And up to, informally, right. Up till, informally, until, or till. Up to that point, till that point. It's up for debate. An item or an idea. No, those are, I only think of four-letter words. An issue. You debate an issue. There we go. Good friend who won't stop snooping. Cozy, good friend. Subwoofer sound, bass. A subwoofer is a speaker that emphasizes low frequencies. I'm toast, bread, I suppose. So I guess the exclamation point is sort of as though this is being spoken from the perspective of the toast, which is bread. Some cameras in brief, SLRs, single lens reflex camera. British sailor in slang. British sailor in slang. I mean, tar or assault or not sure offhand. What about this? Comedian Rudolph. Maya Rudolph? Maya Rudolph was a comedian. Oh, limey. I think that might be where the sort of somewhat quaint reference to an Englishman comes from, a British, because I think they would have limes to avoid, scurvy and that sort of thing. I think those are all connected. So anyway, I think British sailor in slang is a limey, and prenuptial agreement is a sweetie deal-ly. I was thinking a sweet deal maybe is plausibly a phrase, and a prenuptial agreement could be a sweetie deal, but it doesn't really work, and it doesn't fit anyway. Yuck. Nasty. There we go. So, Nosy Parker, good friend who won't stop snooping. Nosy ringy. I'm very poor at seeing these. Actress Fisher of Now You See Me. Not sure. Alternative to sparkling. Still water, sparkling water and still water. Turkish money, liras. Is it not the lira? It is, right? This looks strange. I mean, there's an Isla Fisher, isn't there? It's not if you want, it's if you wish. There we go. Okay, so Isla, or Isla, I'm not sure how her name is pronounced. I assume Isla. Letters found in a so-called supervocalic word. A-E-I-O-U-O. Supervocalic, so it must be words that contain all 5 vowels. And then Go Tigers School, LSU, Louisiana State University, presumably, and I suppose that spelling of go is making reference to Louisiana's historical French sort of cultural connection. And then language in which puzzle is pidsa, must be Lao, that's interesting. Jhumpa Blank, author of the Pulitzer-winning Interpreter of Maladies. Lahiri, maybe? I mean, that's a name. I'm just going to put it in there to see if we can confirm or deny it. Spots on a Rorschach card are blots. So Rorschach tests, also known as ink blot tests, where you interpret the sort of arbitrary illustrations made with ink blots. And then nosy bestie. Oh, knows best is a phrase, right? There we go. A good friend who won't stop snooping is a nosy bestie. There you go. They don't require much study. Oh, easy A's, right? So here we have easy, almost the title of the puzzle. Well, no, not almost the title. Almost contains a word from the title, which is slightly surprising, but I suppose it's not close enough to matter. SETI subject. So SETI is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and searches for, I suppose, UFOs, unidentified flying objects. I've mentioned this before. There used to be software you could download to your computer that would sort of process data collected by SETI using kind of spare CPU cycles on your computer. I have no idea if they still do that, but I remember that was a thing in that sort of early internet era. Prenuptial agreement is a sweetie. Oh, a sweetie treaty. Oh, that's a clever one. This one's good because you could actually imagine it being a real phrase. Maybe it is. I don't know. But, you could imagine this becoming an idiom, a phrase in its own right. Whereas some of these are a bit, a bit tenuous. A pointy outie is sort of I guess a child could say something like that. Nosy bestie, hippie booty, chili factory, though those don't strike me as things that would actually ever make their way into language. But sweetie treaty absolutely could. Like chicken cordon bleu originally, oh, sweet maybe. Oh, okay, right. I don't know the history of this dish, obviously, but presumably it was once a sweet rather than savory dish. Feature of Sylvester's, well, I guess it was both, if it had chicken. Feature of Sylvester's speech. Oh, maybe it's not sweet. Never mind. Because Sylvester, the Warner Brothers character, I guess, has a lisp, speaks with a lisp, the cat, Sylvester the cat. So what is this? I don't know. Big name in printing. Oh, Epson makes printers, I want to say. And went 90, say. If you went 90 miles an hour, presumably, in this case, you'd be speeding. And a bit of hype informally. Not sure. Long anecdote from a complainer. Oh, something story. Oh, chicken cordon bleu originally was Swiss. I see. Okay, Swiss rather than French. Okay, so the dish itself hasn't changed from sweet to savory, which makes sense, but I don't know. Who knows? You do sometimes get meat dishes with sweet elements. So, but that was wrong in this case. So it's a Swiss dish. Skateboard tricks could be ollies, maybe. Maybe I've spelled Leslie incorrectly. It must be Leslie, E-Y. And that would make sense because then we'd be ending the first word in our long anecdote here with a Y. So skateboard tricks are ollies. There we go. Little skateboard jumps. And if one is exultant, one some things is with an S, takes a load off, sits down maybe. City of 16 plus million straddling the Yamuna River. Not sure offhand, I don't think. Oh, Delhi? It must be Delhi. Burnable media, right. CDs. Oh, that reminds me. Yesterday, there was something about CD sales going up in, I think, 2020 and 2021, or 2021 and 2022. And I assumed it was referring to compact discs, but as multiple commenters pointed out, it was referring to certificates of or cash deposits. Is it certificates of deposits or cash deposits? Well, now I'm going to make another error. Well, it's one of those two. I'll cover my bases. In any case, that was a incorrect inference on my part yesterday. All right, to be an agent for someone is to rep them, to represent them. And if you're exultant, you crow. So if she is exultant, she crows about maybe some accomplishment or something. All right, a long anecdote from a complainer, a whiny story. So a wine store, right, okay, wine store becomes whiny story. There we go. And a 710 EG in bowling is a split. All right, okay, so there are two pins remaining in a sort of split formation, the 7 pin and 10 pin, most notoriously. Gut feelings are, I don't know, not sure. It could be gut feelings meaning instincts, or it could be gut feelings as some kind of malady in your stomach. I mean, it could be a physical sensation. One with an underground colony, ant colony. This is sort of surprising, though. A bit of hype informally. Oh, a PR tour, maybe? A PR. You could try and generate hype for, a film or some other project with a PR tour. And then parlor offering for short could be a tattoo parlor. Fruit-based dessert, or a possible description of its flavor, tart. A tart is a dessert and also Heart is an adjective. So gut feelings, instinct. Oh, that's funny. Didn't I literally say instincts? That was very strange. Why didn't I think to write it into the grid? I don't know. Okay. Seton or Seton, who wrote Dragonwick, not sure. But it could be Anne or Anna in 4 letters starting with an A, or, Anya. I mean, there are other names, but Anne or Anna would be particularly common ones. Whence feng shui is from China. So whence means, from where does it come? Okay. Prayer leaders could be rabbis, Jewish prayer leaders. It appears blue as a result of Rayleigh scattering. The sun? Doesn't make any sense. The sky. Sorry. Word that may come from a pen. Word that... So a pen could be a female swan. Oh, no. No, it doesn't mean... I was thinking, but swan... I was then thinking oink, but I was saying swans don't oink. No, of course. Pigs do, though. And they could live in a pig pen. There we go. Okay. So a cozy stopover could be an inn. One of the Corleones, so from the Godfather film series, Sonny Corleone, one of the sons of the Godfather, Vito Corleone, and rustic abode, a log cabin. And okay, so this does look like Anna, probably. Oh no, but it could be Anya actually, because yes, this is okay. Look at that. This is one of our with ease answers, so it probably needs to end in an e sound, so a y, I bet, in the end of the first word. Bad person for a gambler to make bets with. Something bookie, because you place bets with a bookie, a bookmaker. So, what sort of bookie? Navajo dwelling could be... I'm not sure. Taking out the trash for one is a chore. Part of QED is quod erat demonstrandum, which is sort of what you say after having proven something. Thus it is demonstrated, or something to that effect. Made a case. Pled? You pled a case in court? And cozy spots are dens. Oh, right. Didn't we also have inns or something? A cozy stopover was an inn. Cozy spots are dens. There we go. Oh, phony bookie. And so Hogan, Navajo dwelling must be Hogan. Okay, there we go. So bad person for a gambler to make bets with. So phone book becomes phony bookie. There we go. Once again, I find these very, very difficult to see through before I've gotten there. So, okay, so a bit of hype was not a PR tour. A PR trek or a PR... I don't know. A talk? PR talk? Don't know. PR for public relations. Skiing areas are the slopes. Oh, maybe it is talk. Sorry to say you guessed wrong. I mean, it must be. I can't think of any other word that would possibly work there. Hang around is loiter. Maybe to stay somewhere sort of noticeably. Is that understood? Oh, and it's also here. Is that understood? Get it or got it? Is that understood? Language in which, oh, look at that. Language in which puzzle is puzzle. So that must, presumably, that's the language that lent it to English. So we had Lao over here with pizza, and then we're going to have a different language over here, but I'm not sure which yet. Italian mount could be Mount Etna, maybe. Mount obviously could be a steed as well that you ride, but in this case, I'm guessing Mount Etna. Plants used in wickerwork furniture are rattans. You have rattan, wicker chairs, things like that. Tic Tac is a brand of mint, a small brand of mint, and then one who's rolling in money, well, not a small brand, but a brand of small mints, more accurately. One who's rolling in money is a fat cat. Feels like something that could have resulted in fatty catty, although I suppose those words are... I guess catty is a separate word, but fat and fatty are essentially the same word. Taiwanese president blank Ing-wen. Oh, I'm not sure offhand. I mean, if I had to guess, it would be Psy, but worth a try. It could work? No. Throat bug, strep, something streptococcus, the strep throat. Worry for a speakeasy. So speakeasy was a bar that operated illegally during Prohibition. So a raid, there we go, would have been a fear. And then slips up, errs, makes a mistake. Layer, ply, so as in layers in, paper, for instance, or, toilet tissue. Astronomer Sagan, Carl Sagan, famous sort of astronomer and also kind of science educator. Worth a try. It could, did I already guess that? It can work. That doesn't work either. Tinkerbell or Puck. Well, those are fairy characters. So Tinkerbell from Peter Pan and Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream. So something Eve, it probably ends with a Y here. Is that understood? Oh, you see, maybe? What many clocks and card games have? I don't know card games. What do they have? Should be able to just get that, but I can't seem to. Scoop. Info, the scoop, the information, that's sort of a news tip, for instance, or discovery. Oh, crafty fairy? Craft fair is a phrase. Okay, Tinkerbell or Puck, they're both crafty fairies. That's fair enough. It's fairy enough. Language in Erse. Okay, I thought that's what it might be, but I felt I was going too much out on a limb to actually attempt it without crosses, so I didn't mention it. But yes, a Celtic language. So language in which puzzle is puzzle, and then sorry to say you guessed wrong. Is it not Erse? Surely it is. Is that understood? Capiche. So kind of corruption of Italian. Oh no, I see. Alas, no. Okay, that does work. That does work. Okay, right. Okay, that all looks fine. Many clocks and card games, not sure. Didn't give forever. Didn't give forever. So if you didn't give in forever, you lasted or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what this is getting at. I'm trying to figure out how to read this. Or if you didn't give forever, stopped giving. I don't exactly understand what we're looking for there. Acolyte with a bad temper. A testy, someone with a bad temper, maybe they're testy, acolyte, a newbie, trainee, testy trainee, not sure. Nueva York, por ejemplo. Oh, right, not a city, but a state in this case. Estado, as in Estados Unidos for the United States in Spanish. New York being one of the states. All right, so farm structure could be a sty, a pigsty, structure built in a farm. Top part of Scotland, tam, so a tam o'shanter, distinctive sort of hat associated with Scotland. Okay, tam o'shanter, character from a poem. Chimes and dimes vis-a-vis this clue's answer rhymes. So chimes and dimes are rhymes with the answer to the clue itself, which is the word rhymes. Okay, that's very clever. It's a very meta-referential clue. Blank Park, home to the University of Chicago. Oh, is it? Sorry, Estado. I think I might have even said it, Estado. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I mispronounced it. In any case, that's obviously correct. Estado, not Estato. And Hyde Park, home to the University of Chicago. Plant with purple-pink flowers. Not sure. The first thing that came to mind is hyacinth, but that doesn't fit. Interlocking bricks, Legos, and yes, I know that this is incorrect. I know it is more properly Lego bricks and not Legos. Okay. Didn't give forever. Testy acolyte with a bad temper. So who is an acolyte? A guinea pig? A testy? That doesn't really work. Is that understood? Okay, how do I close out this puzzle? State of uneasiness informally. One-on-one Olympics event. Épée, maybe? The sort of fencing sport? Groupie? Test group? Testy groupie? Oh, I guess a groupie could be sort of described as an acolyte, a kind of follower or disciple of a particular artist. A testy groupie. Okay, that works. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, feeling? ESP, extrasensory perception, the putative ability to read thoughts. Word with code or rehearsal, dress code or dress rehearsal. And all rise might be called out in court. Difficult to climb in a way. A mountain could be steep and difficult to climb. Worth a try. It can't hurt. There we go. That's what it is. Oh, heather is the plant with purple pink flowers. That makes sense. So state of uneasiness informally. Oh, the fantods. Oops. What many clocks in card games have? Oh, hands. Right, of course. You have hands on a clock, and you deal hands in a card game. Now, this is surprising. You hear, I guess this is? Is that understood? So contracted such that it's just Y apostrophe here, and then didn't give forever. Oh, you lent something to somebody. You didn't give it to them permanently. And there we go. All right, there we go. That was the Sunday puzzle. Wouldn't say I necessarily solved it with ease. It wasn't bruisingly difficult, but it wasn't just a complete walk in the park. I wouldn't say either. And I really, despite the theme being very clear after you solve one of these and you understand what's going on with it, despite that, it didn't really help me all that much in solving the rest of them particularly quickly. I was, occasionally able to put a Y in here or guess at one of the words fairly quickly, but generally struggled to think of the second word. So let's just go over them quickly again. Our kitchen at a barbecue restaurant is our chill factor. A result of a 1960s Haight-Ashbury shopping spree is our hippie booty, our hip boot. The highly visible belly button is our pointy outie, to point out. Good friend who won't stop snooping is our nosy bestie, knows best. And our prenuptial agreement is our sweetie treaty, our sweet treat. I don't know if I said that original one before. The long anecdote from a complainer is a whiny story from Wine Store. Tinkerbell or Puck is a crafty fairy from Craft Fair. A bad person for a gambler to make bets with would be a phony bookie from Phone Book. And finally, the acolyte with a bad temper, our testy groupie from Test Group. So there we go. Quite a few of those. Some of them, I think, more linguistically satisfying than others, but there were quite a few. So fair enough. This was a whole slew of these with ease puns. So there we go. A Sunday puzzle, probably, within the general realm of a typical Sunday difficulty. Maybe I found it slightly trickier, but essentially within, I would say, Sunday difficulty level. And a nice puzzle by Garrett Chalfin with a very goofy linguistic theme. Let me know how you found this one. Let me know if you solved it with ease. And thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the Monday puzzle, the quicker but still themed Monday crossword. Do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.